everyone, and welcome back to Black Cats TV. We're back talking all things Arsenal versus Sunderland. Saturday, 5:30 at the Stadium of Light. First game against Arsenal since I think we were playing them in League One when we were in the Carabao Cup, the 5-1 where Nathan Broadhead scored. We were in that lovely yellow kit, if you remember. Yeah, that was the last time we played Arsenal. It's top of the table Arsenal versus fourth place Sunderland, though, in fairness. So it's a close game, of course, both title contenders, shall we say. So if we have a little rundown of Arsenal this season, when we have a look into their team, top scorer Victor Gyökeres for them with 4 goals, isn't playing. Injured, not playing. So that is a big win, of course, already for us there. When I have a look at who else is already injured for them, we've already got here. So the second goalkeeper, Kepa, Gabriel Jesus, Victor Gyökeres, Kai Havertz, Madueke, Martinelli, and Martin Odegaard. So we've got quite a number of injuries for Arsenal. So I think I've seen a fair few comments saying if there was ever a time to beat them, this is it. This is the one. So you never know. I think in the league, we haven't actually beaten Arsenal since 2009. I think we won 1-0 at home. Darren Bent scored. We have beaten them in the FA Cup since then in 2012. We won 2-0. I think that was the year it wasn't the year we got to the final. I was going to say it was the year we got to the quarterfinals against Everton and then messed it up over 2 legs, shall we say. But after Gyökeres, their next top scorer is Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Timber, and Bukayo Saka all have 2. And then you're looking at the defender Gabriel, Calafiore, Marino, Trossard, Eze, and Martinelli, of course, not playing either, have all got 1. In terms of assists, their defender, Gabriel, has 2 assists this season. I think it's knockdowns from set pieces. Set pieces, of course, are going to be a big issue for Sunderland to deal with. I don't know about a long throw-in, but they're obviously a threat from corners and free kicks, as we've seen over the years, watching as we rose back to the Premier League. Declan Rice has 2 assists, Calafiore 2, Trossard 2, Eze 2. So there's a good variety of goal scorers within that Arsenal team. So it's not just a case of watching one focal point. We've got to watch all over, which you'd expect from potential champions such as us. No, I'm joking, but such as Arsenal, of course. They're going to come with a big threat. But this is what we wanted to be. We wanted to be back in the Premier League for this kind of game, and how refreshing is it to say that in May, if someone had said when you play Arsenal, you'd be going, just keep it away from a cricket score, don't embarrass yourselves. And we're sitting there now going, we can cause them problems. I'm not sitting there going, we'll win, or anything like that. I think, but we're more than capable of causing them problems, especially with the players that we've got this season. So when we look at Arsenal's results, I think they're on like an 8-game unbeaten streak in all competitions. They've just beaten Slavia Prague 3-0. They've just beaten Burnley away 2-0, beaten Brighton 2-0, Crystal Palace 1-0, Atletico Madrid 4-0, Fulham 1-0, West Ham 2-0, Olympiacos 2-0. Of course, the most important one, they beat the Mags 2-1 away. That was the last goal they actually conceded. They beat Port Vale 2-0 and then drew with Man City. So, yeah, it's about 8 games that they've undefeated. I don't think the last loss, of course, was Liverpool. And then Liverpool went on to lose about 5 after that there. So who's really winning after all that? So when we have a look, just want to flip back to that game that we won in 2009, just for you there, the team that we had that day. Does any of these get in the team ahead of what we have at the moment? So you've got Martin Fulop in goal, Phil Bardsley, Lorik Sana and Pablo da Silva in defence, George McCartney at left back, John Mensah as well, he's probably playing a back 5 there, Kieran Richardson, Jordan Henderson, Steve Malbronk, Andy Reid and Darren Bent. And then their team was Almunia, Gallas, Sanya, Vermaelen, Song, Armand Traore, Cesc Fabregas, Samir Nasri, Aaron Ramsey, Thomas Rositzky, and Eduardo up top. So lots of change within that time. Of course, Mikel Arteta, now manager of Arsenal, and is on I don't want to say a trophy drought, that's harsh. He's obviously won the FA Cup there, and he's been building this project to probably this moment and this season where Arsenal are in their best position to try and win the Premier League. But not if we have anything to say about it. So if we look back at the head-to-heads between, of course, their first, we're fourth. If we'd have just beaten Everton, it would have been a top 2 clash in November. But hey ho. So when we look back through it there, of course, we've gone through their results. So we've obviously drawn 1-1 with Everton, beat Chelsea, beat Wolves, lost to Man United, and beaten Forest as well. We've played 144 times in our history. Arsenal have won 59, we've won 45, and there's been 40 draws. And again, goes on to the previous scores. We had the 5-1 to Arsenal in December of 2021. We lost 2-0 at the Emirates in 2017, and they beat us 4-1 at the Stadium of Light in 2016. Interesting if you're into this sort of stuff, but Sunderland are winless in their last 15 games against Arsenal, drawn 5, lost 10, and it mentions the 1-0 in 2009. All 3 of Arsenal's Premier League's defeats against Sunderland have come at the Stadium of Light, and all by the 1-0 scoreline. That's January 97, August 2000, and November 2009. They've never conceded more than once in their 16 visits to the Black Cats. So Mike predicted that we're going to win 4-2, a team that's only conceded 3 goals all season and has never conceded more than 1 goal against Sunderland in their history at our home. But annoyingly, he also said 7 points between Chelsea, Everton, and Arsenal, and he could be right with a win. So, there's probably method to his crazy antics of Mike, shall we say. Sunderland haven't won any of their last 23 Premier League games against sides that are starting the day in the top 4 position, with 7 draws and 16 losses. The last time we did beat a side in the top 4 was when we beat Chelsea away 2-1, not the other week, in April of 2014. I think that was the one where Barini penalty. And Connor Wickham scored for them after they took the lead as well. And the previous one to that, the last time we won a game against any team that was in the top 4, was Manchester City in January 2012, which we'll all remember as Ji Dong-won rounding the goalkeeper in an offside position, but it doesn't matter because there was no VAR in 2012. So, and the last point here, Arsenal have won their last 5 Premier League matches, last winning more in a row between April and August of 2024, 8 wins. So they're on a bit of a run, is the best way of saying it. But we always say when teams come to us and they haven't won in 10, oh, here comes Sunderland to break that hoodoo for them. Can't it be the other way around? Team's on a great run, insert Sunderland, and we can get a result. Who knows? I'm hopeful we can get a result. I really am. I think. If you'd have asked me before the start of the season, could we get anything from this game, I'd have said absolutely not. And I'm sitting there now going, we're more than capable. Xhaka, Nordi, Siddique, Ballard, Roofs, we're more than capable of doing this. And hopefully it'll be an absolutely incredible atmosphere at the Stadium of Light on Saturday, our first sort of tea time kickoff, of course, under the lights with another light show, I imagine. It's going to be good. I'm just really looking forward to it. It's a weird feeling of I'm just really looking forward to this game to test ourselves against the best team in the country. That's the main thing from it. And in testing, the best team in the country, I think we will go with the back 5. Not the same back 5 we saw against Everton. Same personnel potentially, but not with Hume inverting into the midfield. I don't think that worked very well. I think we're more likely to see the same setup we had against Chelsea. Hume at right wing back, Nordi, Ballard and Gertruida, and then Reynaldo on the other side. And of course, when the ball's on the left side, Hume will push up on the right side to support on the far side, and vice versa, that Reynaldo will push up when the ball's on the other side. I think you've got Xhaka and Siddique in the midfield are a given, covered the most distance in the Premier League this season. I think Traore will retain his spot. He does do very good defensive work. I'm still a little bit concerned about his attacking work, but you never know. Isidore up top for me as well. Enzo on the left, which leaves one spot in the middle, which I don't know. If you're asking me, I would probably like to see it go to Enzo. I just think we need that creativity. He was great coming in off the left the other night. He obviously set up Xhaka by doing it, and then also nearly had a goal that Pickford saved just before that as well. But I'd like to see him sort of in that sort of free role in the middle, and potentially we push Talby out onto the left side. Talby's been very impactful coming off the bench, but I think he's earned a start. I really do, and I think he's getting better each game that we see him. So that's the lineup I have. Let me know what you think in the comments on the lineup. But also, and more importantly, we have our leaderboard, which you need to get in the comments of this video or on Mike's live stream, which he'll be doing on Saturday as well. But this is the leaderboard so far. We had a load of people jump up to join. Tony Huntington and L12 Bong at the top. Changing Crisis, Brian Greener, Sai have all joined. And if you see down the bottom, Michael Bowers, Time Team and Johnny Cool all joined in at the bottom as well. So 25 names on the leaderboard. I'm still not on that leaderboard. I think the closest I got was West Ham. I said 2-1 and Roofs made a great save to stop it being 2-1 and then we scored for 3-0, which was annoyingly Mike's score. But, the long way to go. We're only 10 games in. So please hit the like button. Please subscribe. It really does help us out. If you haven't already, do go and check out Midweek Mackems. We do it live on YouTube every Wednesday, but you can also check it out on Spotify. We'll see you on Saturday for the live stream. So take care, everyone, and see you later.